Ptaris can only be encountered if you give Lady Esther the githyanki egg from the githyanki creche in Act 1. And then to encounter him, you can go directly south from the literally Baldur's Gate waypoint. And then you come to the lodge. And when you come into the lodge, you see blood everywhere. You see dead bodies. The Society of Brilliance basically is no more, or at least the members who were in Baldur's Gate at the time. You make your way upstairs. And then you see a portal here. We're going to jump through the portal. And here we encounter Ptaris. Now you don't have to do this fight, but I need to get into the fight to show you the new legendary action that was added in patch 7. Before I show you it in action, let's just have a look at it. Let's read through what it should be doing. So it's called Ptarian Dogma. Once per round, after being hit, Ptaris can spend a legendary action to surround his attacker with Ptarian Pacifism. Okay, what is that? Affected entity's strength, dexterity, and constitution scores have been reduced by 4. Its nearby allies are pacified, which means you can't attack him. So while near another creature affected by Ptarian Pacifism, this creature cannot harm Ptaris. Unless the 50 temporary hit points granted by this effect are removed, when the effect ends, one of Ptaris' mental image will appear. It's quite a lot to get into there. The first thing to note is this is a legendary action, so only once per round, and they reset at the start of a round, so this will only affect the first person that attacks Ptaris. I'm going to get Gale to do that because my Tav, who's a sword bard, and Lae'zel, who is an Eldritch Knight, are my main damage dealers, and I don't want them affected by this. Let's use... to make the fight last a bit longer, I'm going to use this magic missile. So we can see a few things happen there. First of all, there's now this circle. This is the Ptarian Pacifism trait. Also, let's look at Gale. His strength is now 4. It's -4 from Ptarian Pacifism. Dexterity 18, Constitution 11. Thankfully, because of his gloves of dexterity, his dexterity hasn't really gone down by very much. And so now, if I try and target... Where's he gone? There he is. If I try and target Ptaris with the archer, well, my swordsbard, it says can't harm, can't harm. That's because I'm within this range. Now, if I walk outside that range, or... I just get Gale to move a bit as well. In fact, I'm going to get Gale to Misty Step out of the way. I can now harm Ptaris. He's a bit of a tough fellow. In honor mode, quite a lot of hit points, 202. Mostly high stats, except wisdom and charisma. And it looks like he doesn't get any legendary resistances. Now, the BG3 wiki says he does. I'm here. My mods might be affecting it, I suppose. Can't say they're not. But they haven't affected other legendary actions so far, or legendary resistances. And what does this mean? Since his wisdom is very low, he will be very vulnerable to things like hold person. 65%, that's because my bard's spell save DC is low. Does have the Helmet of Arcane Acuity. One other thing that makes Ptaris particularly deadly is he does have here a natural growth. 2 actions per round. That's without anything like action surge. He just gets 2 actions per round. He teleported away because of his reaction here. After being damaged, Ptaris teleports as far as he can from the attacker. And also, annoyingly, removes all conditions at the start of its turn. So that's everything. So I'm going to attack Ptaris. He's now being reverberated. Now I've got an 85% chance. Let's just use one more attack. And this is kind of how you deal with Ptaris, I would say. You need 1 or 2 people who are very good at dealing damage, such as my swordsbard here. Now 95% chance. So he can be held, but when it's his turn, let's just see, he'll come out of it. There we are, hold person just ended. Everything is false. And he creates all of these images which are potentially very dangerous. When these mental images actually make a hit, they create another mental image. So let's say that your character is pacified. You are still able to harm Ptaris, you just can't harm him directly. So area of effect thing, so I'm going to use Acid Splash, keep it simple. There, I hit him. He uses reaction to teleport away. There he is. What do I need to do? I need to get rid of Ptaris as soon as possible. So my slashing flourishes are going to be on him. I'm going to use Luck of the Fire Realms, he'll die. There we are. I will say that these images are vulnerable to psychic damage. If you've got Mind Blast, you should take care of them, assuming they're within range and they can be seen. As for this, unless the 50 temporary hit points granted are removed, one of Ptaris' mental images will appear. I would just let that happen. Having that 50 temporary hit points is probably more useful. Do need to take care of these images. They are resistant to most damage, vulnerable to psychic, as already seen, not resistant to force damage, although magic missile doesn't do much damage by itself. So I'm going to do my best to get rid of these. Now the pacifism is counting down for Gale. And here comes one last mental image. This should be the last mental image we have from Ptaris. Yeah, 3 misses in a row. Lovely. But it's okay. Ptaris himself has a unique necklace. Unflinching Protector Amulet. When a nearby ally is targeted by an attack of any kind, you can use your reaction to make it miss. This is once per short rest. I've never really used this amulet. I find I want my amulets to be a bit more permanent than once per short rest, such as a +2 bonus to spell save DC or advantage on all mental saving throws. I do think this Ptaris is a cool boss. I kind of wish he had a few more hit points. When you've got 2 high damage dealers, such as Lae'zel and my Swordsbard here, he doesn't last very long. And I would say just focus on Ptaris. Move the person who's got the pacifism on them out the way, or move other people away from them. And you should have no problems. Hold person will work, but make sure if you use hold person, you go and attack him on the same turn, because when it comes to his next turn, he will not be held anymore. Let me know if you've ever fought Ptaris, if you even knew he existed. Let me know how you deal with him also. Thank you for watching, and to all the members of my channel, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.